Thanks for joining, guys.
Make sure you stick around to the end because we want to share a little bit more about Jubilee and this series.
Until then, enjoy the episode.
There is no making America great again. It implies that we want to go back to racism.
I disagree.
It implies we want to go back to having KKK out and about.
To say like all white people think that way is wrong.
Hi, I'm Charity. I am a social justice advocate and a Democrat.
My name is Michael. I work as a fiduciary in the finance industry, and I'm a Republican.
My name is Hope. I'm a political activist as well as a student, and I am a conservative.
I'm Josh. I'm a writer in the film industry, and I'm a Democrat.
My name is Christy. I'm a conservative, and I run a dating app called Writer.
My name is Alan Suarez. I'm a student and political organizer, and I am a Democrat.
I have the same political beliefs as my parents.
So a lot of times I do get told that I'm only a conservative because my parents are, when in actuality, they rarely talked about politics. It wasn't until very recently that I realized, yeah, my parents are conservative. They really wanted my sisters and I to be able to come to our own beliefs and whatnot.
I do have pretty much the same views as my parents, but I'm the first one to actually be able to vote and be outward politically about my views. Well, I come from a low-income family. My dad's disabled, and they tried and they fought very hard to keep me in a good school so I can critically think on my own and constantly question and challenge my beliefs and the views of society.
Why did you decide to lean left?
I'd say primarily where I was, but I did give both a chance.
Sure,
I read both platforms and I said, I think I agree with more of the left than I do with the right. But with that being said, of course, not one side is completely correct. People who are in my situation, I feel for them and I want to be able to help them out. And I know there's other Mexican Americans or other people who is going to be their first time voting, and I want to make sure that they have a right path and they know.
Well, why do you think Republicans don't want to help?
No Republican ever reached out to me.
I see.
Yeah. I don't doubt that Republicans want to help. I never got that opportunity.
Yeah, we just try to help with jobs. That's what I would say, and economic growth.
I guess I'm the unicorn standout here, and that there's a very clear political difference between me and my parents. I grew up in a conservative suburb. In my first election, I voted for McCain because I got the talking points every night, and I was told about redistribution of wealth, and that didn't seem fair to me. But then I got older, I started meeting people with different perspectives, and I started doing my own research.
My party is misrepresented by the media.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yes.
Everyone. I think we can all agree that news channels in general basically just suck.
There was a time when Americans all lived in the same information space, and we could disagree, but at least we were disagreeing on the same set of facts.
Do you guys at least accept there's a big media bias?
On both sides, absolutely.
No, mostly for the left, though. That most of the media is in support of the left agenda.
Melania Trump has yet to grace one cover of a magazine.
Really?
Well, Michelle Obama was on how many covers? 190?
Michelle Obama was much more
She had a name
open,
for herself. She's a lawyer. Melania's like, this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah, I do think Melania is a little bit more private, and that could
She
be
may
why.
want that, yeah.
So, yeah, MSNBC, CNN, NBC, even CBS, the list goes on.
In general, more media organizations tend to be a little bit more favorable towards the Democratic position, yes. But I think to say the two biases are the same. The fake news on the right is so much more blatant and...
Oh, come on.
You wish the left coined that phrase.
I want to make America great again.
Take apart Democrat or Republican, right or left. America is our country. We all live here. We're all citizens. I laughed a little bit when we heard the statement, I want to make America great again, opposed to not make America great again. I have no understanding or concept of how anyone in this room could not want our country to be great again.
The phrase "Make America Great Again" implies that America was great to begin with. And if it was great to begin with, the question is for who? It wasn't great for minorities, it wasn't great for people of color, and you know, you guys sit in a position of privilege, in a position of whiteness, where you can say that because it was always great for you, absolutely.
Excuse
but it wasn't.
me, I'm sorry, you don't get to speak for me. I'm Hispanic, so you
I'm
don't.
talking from my experience.
You just pointed to all of us and
But
called us white.
But you pass as white.
My mother was adopted out of Guatemala, and she was an
Well, you
immigrant.
sit from a-
You do not
then
get
it's
to
not
point
directed
to me.
to you.
I will not sit here and be pointed
Okay.
at and told that I am sitting in a position of white privilege.
This isn't about you. That's the problem with
How is
Republicans.
it not about
it's not
me when
about
you're-
you. I'm talking in general. I am talking in general.
How is that in general?
If you let
I
me
would
talk,
never sit in this room.
If you let me talk, I would be more than glad
I would
to tell
love
you.
for you to
Can I
clarify that, but
finish?
you better take better care with
Can
your
I?
words.
Don't tell me what I better do. Thank you. My point is, when we have a country that was built on the backs of slavery, the things I still feel today as a black woman, there is no making America great again. It implies that we want to go back to racism, heightened racism, because it still exists today.
disagree
It implies we
completely.
want to go back to, you know, having KKK out and about. They have a social media presence, but having them
Yes, I know.
be
I've
out
been
and about
threatened by
like-
them
and
twice.
Like is what's
Yes,
happened
I'm on their
recently
hit
since
list.
Trump has been elected.
When I hear "Make America Great Again," I think he's just talking about the numbers, economic growth. To say like all white people think that way is wrong. It's just talking about how when we won World War II, we defeated the Nazis. We were the best country in the world at the time, given the fact all the segregation in the South.
So that's why I think it's dangerous, though, because it's too broad.
I just feel like even if he made it "Make America Economic Again," they would say, oh, he's trying to take the minorities out and make it more economic. Anything that he would say, they would attack it.
We should help the underprivileged.
I think it's written in our basic rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? Everybody should be on the same level playing field, right? Especially the underprivileged who don't have these kinds of opportunities. They might have grown up in an education system that's not as good quality as certain places.
And then do you think that's almost a disservice to them, having to go to a college where they're not almost prepared?
Exactly.
They were given,
And that's what happened.
where they were given though, like the opportunity because of maybe like affirmative action, for example, where they get into that spot and then they're like, oh wow, I'm kind of overwhelmed.
There's a number of factors that we have to consider, you know, if we're talking about schools. First of all, we don't pay teachers enough, so it's not exactly attracting the best
Right.
and brightest individuals to raise our kids. If you do great as a teacher, the incentive is to move to a better school with students who are already have economic advantages.
For example, I'd want voucher systems for underprivileged kids to go to good schools.
What makes them underprivileged?
I would say economic status.